Hello, good to see you
Hello.
all.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, thank you. Time B, what about you?
I'm alright, not too bad. Doing
Okay,
Layla?
Doing fine, thank you.
Good, not too bad.
what about you, Parvana? How are you?
I'm good, thank you very much. And you?
It's going great, as always. All right.
You look different today.
Really? What have changed? What has changed?
Something about your face.
Yeah, you got a. How are you getting a haircut in the middle of COVID-19?
Oh, maybe because we don't have it already, in fact. Yeah. So
Sorry?
we don't have these measures already, so we can normally go out and go to hairdresser and actually yesterday I had some things, so I had some shooting for some, I don't know, for something, so I decided to fix my beard, just to bring it to the shape, but then I realized that it doesn't look really like for anything, so I decided to shave it all.
I see.
Yeah, that's my
Okay.
little story. So today actually we are coming to a really nice topic, is using visuals at a lesson. All right, so and I started this lesson with a little question to you, and also the image or illustration next to this question. What can you see? So if you've formed already some idea about what you see or what you can see, we will discuss it a bit later, okay? But for now, let's stop the share. And so let's start from the question, some little warm-up question. It is, why do we need visuals, or how can we use them? Share your ideas. Why do we need visuals on our classes, and how we can use them? Let's start from you, Leila.
Okay, so according to some studies and some statistics, like people remember the information which is delivered visually better than the other tools. So I think that's why like you remember it for a longer time. So that's why, and it's also like more attractive, I would say. That's why we can and we should use visuals maybe.
That's a great idea. I like statistics, guys. It is a great tool. If your statistic is right or wrong, doesn't matter. When you say statistically, it adds some preciseness to your words. So sometimes when I want to give some very serious information, I want to my students to remember. I can also say that, for instance, statistically, 80% of visuals, 80% of students are visual learners. So it's not the statistic I took from myself. I've read it in some courses about TEFL and TESOL. So, all right, any other ideas? Why do we need visuals and how can we use them? Let's continue with Stambi.
Adding on from what Layla said, so maybe sometimes you want to like graphs. So basically you'd be wanting to, can't find the words today, sorry, I'm a bit slow. If you want to present your information in a different format, so you would use like graphs and pie charts and stuff. So that would be a visual aid.
Okay. Do you mean that you can add some diversity to your lessons?
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So mainly, we teach by text or by some article, which we have in our books. But if you add something more to this, for example, technologies, enable them using their phones, that will be unusual first, and second, very interesting for them to learn, for example, how to text their friends, how to get answers, with their phones, which they not allowed to use at the lessons. Okay, very good. Let's continue then with Parvana, some fresh ideas.
Actually, I agree with others. Sometimes it's better to learn something when you see them. So we can use visuals during the conversation, and also it makes the conversation more interesting, I guess. When you look at something or describing something, it's better to learn with visuals.
All right. Thank you, Parvana. Thank you so much. So we're going to continue now. I will just write here why of visuals. Yeah. And then we can discuss a bit more. So let me use our lovely whiteboard. Okay. Let's put here why visuals. Let's use some mind gap. Yeah. Okay. So first we can say the first why. It is showing is faster than explaining or describing. So showing is faster than describing. So we were actually speaking about this. Yeah. So I was telling that if you want to explain some word, yeah, and you feel that, yeah, your senses tells you that it's better to show it, then go on a browser, or if you have this photo or picture which describes this word, show it, right? And it can be faster, yeah. I don't guarantee that it's going to work forever, right? Sometimes it can be like, yeah, and then maybe you can move and switch your explanation into description, right? But sometimes it's good to describe, yeah, using some examples. But if it's some primitive things like tree, right? Explaining tree is a bit harder than showing it, right? So you can just show it. And with that, you will economize your time for sure. The second one, it's very, it's the point of Layla, yeah. So 80% of students are visual learners. So by using as many as visual materials you can, it will enable your student to learn faster because their perception is consists of 80% of visual learning, right? So it means that we have very strong why. It is statistically big number of visual learners. Okay, and the next one, authentic way of communication. Let's write here, not authentic, but true way of communication. What I mean by that, true way of communication. When you have a speaking class or conversation, let's call it like that, they know you have questions and you're going to ask about these questions, yeah. So it's a kind of not true way of communication. It's ask me and I answer, right? And I give my opinion about it. But when they see it, they can add something from themselves, yeah. For example, oh, I like that part of this visual. What is that? I see here 2 chairs, for example, or something like that, right? So in this, the percentage of true way of communication will be higher. They are not going to feel that you're just asking them questions from your list. You're asking questions which are related to the visual you're showing. Yeah. Okay. So these are whys of visuals. Would you like to add something here? Nope. Okay. Then let's continue. Visuals can be. So we say visual, and the first thing that can come to your mind is pictures. But actually, visuals is everything that we can see. Let's divide them. visuals can be. Okay. Let's say category number 1. That is images, or you can say photos, images. Okay. Well, that is some static frame. Yeah. So no one is moving. It's just one photo. Okay. So we can go around this photo. I don't know, the different parts. Yeah, we'll speak now how you can transform the visual into question. And the second one, animations. By this, I think that you can even use GIFs. Yeah, there are different GIFs. Yeah, you can find on the internet, and it is some big, very big platform on that. I don't remember, but it's like YouTube for GIFs. So you can find the really fun GIFs and discuss them. What's going on here? Yeah, and it can be very good for continuous tense, for example. Videos. Well, videos are good for your classes for sure, because it has listening parts, so they can listen also to true native speaking, let's say, yeah, or at least to English language, right? And they can see that is a double attack of their perception. But big minus here is technically hard to implement. Technically hard to implement. Because it can be some things that if you watch some video, you know, it can be very good internet connection, and also the video, it should be so smooth, yeah. So they have to see every change which is happening in the video. Sometimes technically it's hard to do through sharing. Even if I have now, you can see that, for instance, this thing on my whiteboard is moving slower, or it has some delay. Yeah. So if the Zoom does this kind of thing on the whiteboard, then you can have really big problems, technical problems, showing video. Yeah. But if you're able to gather your students in the interest of that, guys, next time I'm going to send you this group of in a speaking class, a video. You can watch it several times and then we can discuss it. So that can be better. So it's going to be out of your class, yeah, but at least they will be aware of preparing for your lesson, right? Because I'll give you questions, yeah, or vocabulary, learn them, and then come to my class. It sounds a bit worse than I will give you video to watch. It's so fun, and then we can discuss it. That sounds better. So you can implement this through that. And the next one, it is, let me see what I have here. Articles. So these are also visual, yeah, because at least they're not going to see images, okay, but they're going to see symbols, which we call letters, right? So they're also going to remember it visually. Yep. So for this, of course, you have to be ready for that. Yeah, you have to at least see the article, because yeah, I've tried to work through articles, right? And if it's some good topic, yeah, you can take it. But most of time it's good at least to read it once yourself, because it can be some words there and you can just stop and say, could you wait a minute? I need to look up the dictionary. It's better as a teacher, be ready for that, right?
And also maybe removing some parts.
Sorry?
Like also maybe you will want to remove some parts, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Would love to have some addition on that, right? Yeah, so it's always a good idea to see the article before you do that.
Yeah, last time I sent a text about gender stereotypes, and I thought that some parts were too extreme for our audience. Like, it's not what they're ready for. Like those parts, I don't know how to express it, and I just decided to delete that part, like not to have any conflicts or that kind of thing.
Great, great. That is what we were speaking about. Yeah, before the material and the things that is required to teach go to student, they should go through you, right? You have to analyze it, adapt it, and then deliver. So if you are super ready for articles and you are getting more experience in delivering this kind of conversations, then they are going to be so effective, because we have here reading skill developing, improving, let's say. Then we have listening, because you are reading this, right? About telling your students read that. Well, that's going to change their perception and idea about your lesson. They would think that you have a reading lesson, not a speaking lesson. So that's why it's recommendable to read the article yourself. If you have individual, you can play with that. But if you have people, 6 people in your class, well, it's not a good idea to have some turns about reading this article. And also we have, of course, speaking developing, guys. Discussing what you've read or what you've heard and you see this sentence, discussing it and enforcing the vocabulary you have in this sentence. Yeah, that can be really like cool. Okay. And let's go a bit off topic, right? Because yeah, we have visuals, they work really nice, but also we have something off topic here is using music. And here we have a question for all of you. Is it possible to use songs or any kind of music? Is it possible to use songs on speaking class? Yeah, it's also important to add this. Yeah, let's start from you, Leila. What do you think about it? Is it possible to do that?
I don't know. I have never used it, but I don't know. Like maybe something closer to their level, and I don't know, some topic specific songs like.
All right. Thank you for your ideas.
There is a about peace, or I don't know, like this kind of thing.
Yeah, you can try to experiment with that and tell us the result, because I've never used song as well. Yeah, I'll be honest. And I don't know.
I think it's better to energize them with the song in the beginning, and then
why not? It can be a very good warm-up. Good idea. All right, thank you. And let's continue with Sambi. Sambi, what do you think? Is it possible to use songs on our speaking class?
I think it's possible, especially if it's a common song or one of the classics that everyone does know, because a lot of songs do have like idioms and stuff. So it would be a great way to introduce idioms into the conversation, and they would be a lot more interesting for them to decipher what the singer is trying to say.
And
reading an article.
And do you mean that it's possible to create set of questions about the song?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can't think of any songs, none of them come to mind, but from a lot of love songs, they always say one thing, but they'll be meaning another thing. So you could ask them, what is he trying to say? And you could always get different responses from different people. They're not all the same thing. So it's almost like doing literature, like poems and stuff.
All right. All right. Thank you. Thank you for your idea. And Parvana.
Actually, I have never used songs on speaking class, but I guess it can be used. Especially, there are lots of interesting exercises on the internet. Like there is a song, and you have to fill the gaps when you hear the song. And I think it's really just interesting to improve your listening while listening to the song, and you are doing the exercises and filling the gaps. But I have never used song. I don't know, maybe it can be interesting if we used it.
Thank you for amazing ideas first. And second, yes, you are right. Yeah, with songs, we improve listening. Yeah, and we improve it very close to their interest because also they like the songs. Yeah, so that's why if you want to improve your English, yeah, listen to music. That can be very good recommendation for your students as well, right? Listen to music you'll really love and like, and you've never understood that, but try to again come back to the nostalgia and try to understand songs you've been listening to, right? So, but in this we don't have improvement of speaking, right? That is the main point. We have to improve their speaking through songs. Yeah. So that's why songs, they can be very good as a separate lesson, right? For example, you can create something like song oriented lessons. Yeah, how to teach vocabulary through songs, right? But in the meaning of enabling students to speak about the song for 1 hour, that can be super challenging, guys. That is that is totally my idea about it, right? And that's why we can write here what are some disadvantages of using songs on speaking class. Yeah, I would love to emphasize again. So first, it's hard to make questions. Yeah, hard to make questions out of that, right? From visuals, we can make a lot of questions and we can relate different topics to this visual. But to the song, if the song about, let's say, love, then okay, that's our topic about love. But then we speak about love, not the song, right? So that's why it's hard to connect the song, all the song, to your questions you're going to ask entire the conversation. And it's not visual. So at the end, at the beginning, we've seen here why of visuals, and here we have 80% of students are visual learners. Yeah. So anyway, if you're going to do that, then statistically, let's say the perception of your students are not that high for listening to songs, right, than visuals. So it's not visual. That's obvious, but I still explain that. Okay, and it's technically hard. Yeah, it's not video, but still it can be really technically hard because from my experience of teaching grammar online and showing them the presentation, yeah, which is prepared as a lesson, and there we have some recordings inside of this presentation, and sometimes it has technical problems. Yeah. So okay. So would you like to add here something? I guess everything we discussed is here. Then let's save it. Then clean it all. Yeah. So now let me show you some of my things. Let me just share it with you. Why not? Sharing is caring. No, not this one. Let's go out of here somehow. Goodbye. Goodbye. So now you can see all my screen and all my life. Okay, so let's open this one, I guess. Then conversation, and yeah, here I have my little collection of pictures to discuss. Yeah, so in each folder I have 10 pictures, 10 series. So in overall I have 60 pictures. So if you think that it's quite easy to start collecting pictures you can discuss, well, it's not that easy, because when I was searching for them, it was important for me to analyze them first if I could make some questions out of that. Yeah. So for instance, let's take a look on some of them. Yeah. Hello. Yeah. So they are looking at that. They are discussing it. Later on, we are going to see the different parts and how we can analyze the detail and then make up the question. Okay. All right. Now let's start. Let's start doing that. So I can show you just some other pictures. Yeah, you can see them. Yeah, with these pictures, yeah, it needs some high philosophy. Yeah. Okay, that's one. From here, you can jump into environmental problems. This one, we will discuss it with you now. This one, just different details. Yeah, and also some philosophy of time that we don't value it and so on, blah, blah, blah. And then here, yeah, we have the contrast of two people. One, yeah, so it's different things you can do out of that. Here we have a lot of details. Just have fun with that, yeah? So you can spend 20 minutes discussing this photo. Most of time, for now, when I have visual lessons, then I use 2 pictures, yeah, for 1 hour. And when I have individual, yeah, I don't have groups. When I have groups, it can be, again, 2. I try to show them 2. This one, I don't know, this one doesn't work. They don't really like catch the way, like of the thinking and how to just say something about it. But this one, sometimes it works, sometimes. Okay, so, and here I have some other photos, yeah, so it will take some time to show them, to show all of them. So, and now let's go to the presentation, which I prepared. This presentation I prepared for the special like visual lesson, yeah, which I wanted to deliver just to show if it can work with the big amount of people, yeah. So that is the warm-up part, yeah. So I decided to share it with all students before the conversation starts and give them 5 minutes, yeah, before the conversation starts, see this and already form some idea about the first photo. So that was a kind of warm-up already for them unconsciously. Now, yeah, then I come back to this question, to this image. Yeah, Leila, so what can you see here?
A man with a big nose playing saxophone, I guess.
Okay.
And also a woman in the right side of the screen.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Parwana, what about you?
Actually, first I saw a woman. Then when I just looked at the carefully, I saw a man. It's a musical instrument. That's all.
Okay. Semi, what about you?
I saw the same thing. I just see a man playing saxophone.
Okay. Would you like to see a woman?
Oh, okay. I see her.
She's here. She's blonde. Okay. So guys, here we see 2 details, yeah. So here we see this man and also this woman. But the plus of this photo that woman is hidden. Yeah. So then you have already some platform to develop your conversation, right? So I think I spent 30 minutes on this photo, because after this photo, I also went to some mini topic about psychology, and then some interesting question: do we control the brain or brain controls us? That also was very interactive to discuss this question. And then I moved to this question. And on the example of this question, of this visual, sorry. So we're going to see which details we can take. Yeah. So the structure is like this, right? It's just some steps. You transfer your questions from the visuals. You see, you divide visuals into details, right? So what you have here, you have train. You have a lot of people over here, right? And you have people in the focus, yeah? So divide these people, describe this guy, what's going on here, what are their expressions, yeah, all these things. Then we have what we have around, yeah? So what we have around these people, why the hell this guy is sitting and looking at them? What is the philosophy about it, yeah? So see all of these things, yeah? So, and after seeing these details, you can use, for example, this guy to describe people appearance. Yeah. What is he wearing? Yeah. Just a simple question, yeah, to the class. And they're like, I think that this one. Yeah. So they're telling, then are they happy? Are they sad? Why are they happy? Yeah. So most of time, what is my, let's say, flow of questions about this image? At the end, I come to the question, what is happiness? If these people in this hard situation can be happy, then what is happiness for us? It is something relative. Yeah. So, and they start discussing that. So finding details, we can see these details over here, and then associating these details with some middle topic, yeah, which you can ask questions, right, about. And that's all. That is how you transfer it, right? So it's all up to your creativity, and I think that is the main thing, yeah, your creativity, what kind of questions you can get out of these details, yeah. But first, also analyze it very well. Okay, so some advantages. Let me see, what is that? Yeah, advantages of using PPT, I mean presentation, instead of just pictures. Of course, you can make your own collection of photos, images, pictures, whatever. Or you can create a set of presentations in the format of pictures, of course. Advantages is that you can add vocabulary they can use, yeah, just prompt them with that. So you just write here, there is a ra, and it's like, oh, I can use that for describing what's happening here. Crowded, what is that? So maybe it's something about this photo, and they crowded this photo associations, so, and visual learning, rush hour. Yeah, you can add some more words, yeah. So I just add some of them just to help them. And also on this photo, I like to go to their lifestyles, yeah. Because, well, if I work with Azerbaijanis, of course, I know that they have some problems with the metro, yeah. And most of the time they say, metro is so crowded, yeah, in rush hours. So that's why I can touch this point, and it can be something interesting for them to share their experience. Okay. Yeah, so I'm not going to say anything new. Yeah, just here we have another details we can see here. Yeah, and we just analyze them. Here is very good that you can deliver a lot of vocabulary about devices, yeah, which we have in our life. Do we have the, yeah, and vocabulary over here, yeah. When you have free space, you can just put their vocabulary, yeah. Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, I couldn't finish my visual conversation because I've just had two pictures, yeah, oh, this one and this one. So it was 1 hour of my conversation. So it means that I could continue this conversation for more than 2 hours, yeah, but I wouldn't like to do so, you know. Yeah. So that's why, and here at the end, yeah, I want to do some tongue twister with them, yeah. But I realized that I am happy that I didn't have any end of this like tongue twister, because it is very good for warm-up session, right? When it just helps them to open up their pronunciation stuffs and all these muscles they have around. Yeah, but for the end, when they just so tired of discussing photos, you know, visual attack of their brain, and then tongue twister, and they're like, are you kidding me? Yeah, so I didn't have this part, fortunately. Yeah, okay, now let's just keep it here. And visual lessons. But first, let's go to our board and just structure what we've had, yeah. We have visual over here. In this visual, we are finding some details, right? We are finding some details inside of this visual. Yeah, it can be not just about photos, guys, right? About articles, the same, yeah, but articles, you analyze sentences, right? It can be videos, animations, right? So you find those details and then you associate them. So first, find details. Let's write them here. Find details inside of visual. And next, associate them with different topics. You can connect that, but don't go so far in topics, right? Because then it can be so confusing for them. Try to go around the one topic, yeah. So, for example, the picture I showed you about the train. So there I go around the topic of poorness, yeah, of this problems around the world, and also mainly about some emotions like happiness, sadness, or what the problem of countries, yeah, which cannot provide themselves and so on, yeah. So I discussed with them this topic, so I don't go so far in that. And yeah, here we have associate. Yeah, so try to just connect them to questions. Yeah, let's save this as well and continue with the next one. Visual lessons. Visual lessons, they can be two types, guys. So as I said before, and why of visual lesson, we can see there that visuals can be used not just as a lesson, right? We can use them as a tool of explanation, yeah, instead of describing. So the same here, that first we can mix visual lesson with our main topic. So that's why let's write here type of visual lessons. Let's divide them to two, and here we have and first fully visual. Well, in this type, guys, as you've seen before, yeah, from my example, that was fully visual one. So I didn't have any topic there. The pictures, they were different. I was jumping from one topic to another topic depending on the photo or image I have there. So that's why, let's say the structure of this kind of lesson as you know, we have warm up, then presentation, and then we have feedbacking. So in this type of lesson, no. Yeah, in this type of lesson, warm up and presentation can be one. They can be visual, but feedbacking, of course, to have it visual, I don't know if it's possible, visual. So that's why, so feedbacking is a session, and warm up and presentation can be visual, as we had it before, right? So, and the second type, it is partially visual. So in this type of, let's copy it. Boom. Yeah, in this type of lesson, we have warm up. We can have it as visual or not, is up to you. But mainly like warm up, we have some other warm up in partially visual one. And then presentation is divided to two parts. The first part is the topic, yeah. And the second part is related, very important, related visual, which you can discuss, yeah. So you can have 20 minutes of your topic, or let's say 30 minutes of your topic, and 10 minutes you can have some related visual, or you can have a 20-20, yeah, so up to you. And then you have feedback session. Okay, let's save it. Any questions, guys? Nope. Okay, then let me continue.
Sorry, quick one.
Yes.
For feedback, right? How would you give the feedback if it's mostly a visual, what do you call it, it's a visual lesson? Because I'm assuming it'd be more interactive, so they would be giving you their opinion and you'd be talking, you'd be replying them, you'd be giving them feedback instantly. Or no?
So do you mean like at the moment of the mistake, right? Or immediately?
Yes.
Do you mean that? Okay. Just a moment. I need to have a cup of water for answering your question. So, as we discussed before, giving feedbacks during the lesson or at your feedback session, right? So if this mistake, so it is just a sense of stopping, not stopping student, but giving your feedback during the lesson, yeah? This sense comes from working with the students. If you can, if it's a good idea to answer or to keep this feedback now, to give this feedback now or not. Or you see that, for example, this mistake can be discussed at the end. Yeah, this mistake can be ignored for now. And if you know that this student, for example, is trying so much, yeah, so this one you will know after some time. You would understand that maybe I don't need to give this feedback now, but at the end the student will perceive it and cohere it as well, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's the thing. Okay. So let's save it. Yeah, let's save it 2 times, I guess. Let's delete that. And what we have here? How to organize an online visual lesson. Well, before I've had lessons, like visual lessons, but it was offline. So I printed them. The big disadvantage was that we didn't have colored or colorful printer, yeah, at our work. So that's why it was a big problem that it was black and white. But colors matter sometimes when you work visual. So that's why some pictures they didn't even understand, because the printer it just outputted in a not so nice visual format. But anyway, I sorted it. I said, so, well, I can use this kind of, yeah, so they're good. Yeah, but let's discuss a bit how to organize it in an online way, right? We don't need offline for now. How organize? Okay, an online visual lesson or class, let's say. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. First, of course, that's not going to be new for you. We have to make or collect little or just a collection of photos. Yeah, you have to have something already. And as you could see, you can build your lesson already around 2 pictures, right? But having 5 is better, right? Because you don't have risk that they're going to end. So that's why make a little collection for yourself. And then number 2, we have over here, see visuals, any kind of visuals, before you show them. That comes to the principle of you have to see any material before teaching that, right? And it's not different for visuals, using visuals, yeah. So sometimes you could see, or you can think that it's the visual, I'm going to open it and try to find some details, so I know the technique, I don't need anything to prepare for that or something. Well, that can get you really baffled during the lesson, yeah. You still have some risk. And when you have some risk, you can have some negative expectation. And when you have negative expectation, it can bring to stress. So that's why we're going to speak about that in our next lesson, stress management. All right. Number 3, creating, let's write here PPT. Yeah. So presentations, that is recommendable. Yeah, let's write here recommendable. Yeah, so I would recommend it to you because, as we said, pluses of this, that you can deliver your vocabulary inside of slides, inside of this pictures, right? Inside of visual. All right. Yeah, so that is exactly what I've wrote here, that you can introduce, you can deliver your vocabulary. Let's write here introduce, that sounds better. Introduce your vocabulary inside of visual. Yeah, so that is the plus. And that's the, okay, sound of my friend. And number 4, I also have it here, just a moment. Number 4, practice. A lot, right? So if you think that after this training, you're fully prepared for having your visual class, it's very good to be confident about it. But before coming to the level of delivering these visual classes without any stress, without any anxiety, you have to practice a lot. Yeah, even if when I have visual classes, but I've had them maybe already 100 times, maybe more, yeah, with different students individually. But when I start them, I still have some anxiety here that something can go wrong. Yeah, do I have plan B? Should I think about other things if something happens? So that's why I never stop learning, never stop practicing. Okay, so guys, we have 8 minutes. Yeah, And during this 8 minutes, I will show you some things that I used for my different kind of students, right? Maybe you can take it as an idea. I'll be happy if you could. And in short, I want you to share, if you have something to share about working with visuals. Because we have visuals in some kind of books when we teach something, right? Or we can have it even in our conversations, yeah. So do you have any kind of experience you would love to share about working with visuals? Like, have you ever had this kind of experience? I would love to start from Sambi, maybe.
Unfortunately, no, I don't have any experience with working with visuals in particular that I can think of right now.
Okay. And do you have any kind of books you use for teaching grammar, for example?
For teaching grammar, no.
Not really. Okay. Thank you then. So guys, have you ever used any course book for teaching, let's say? Have you ever? No? Okay. So yeah, that is the thing that working more with visuals can help you also to adapt your teaching style to the course book, because hopefully in the future you're going to be the part of some really good course, and it's going to be I really hope with all my heart will be. And there you're going to have materials, and most of these materials fortunately they'll be prepared with a lot of visuals, so that's why you can work with these visuals, right? Right inside of your grammar lesson as well. Okay, now let me share some things. Yeah, I'm going to share my screen once again. Okay. Let's go to the browser and see what we have here. So most of the time I like seeing it as a, like I save it like this, right, to some different folders. Yeah, so here we have some of the articles I used without any preparation, okay, if you would love to know. I just knew that, okay, Black Friday, it can be fun to speak about it. And so one more thing, that when you use articles, try to zoom them very good. So I prefer 500. So here they can clearly see what's going on. Then you can go to the full version. There should be F11. Yeah, good. So then it's not even visible that it is web browser. Yeah, so I'm reading this, yeah, and then asking some questions. That's a bit harder. Like working with articles as a visual is harder, but you can just ask a simple question about that. Do you like buying anything on Black Friday because you have a lot of discounts there, and discussion, right? And then you can see some facts, and you can see, so what do you think about this, guys? That's so crazy that we have 54.7 billion. Oh my God. Just estimated for US. Yeah. Okay. What else? What else I have here? Search on it. So let's go out of that. Come on, work. Some other topics. So you can use this. Let me just go exactly there and send it to you. Okay, I need to default this. Okay, that's done, reset. And there we go to magazine. So British Council, I'm sending that to you guys so you can try to use it. So where is our chat? Yep. So now it's yours. Then what we have again here. The site that I've started using, that I really love. And you can also save here your, let's say here I have different, that is my favorite conversation that's over here about money. Yeah, you might guess already that I love to speak about it. And here I have just some questions that can help me. They are really like fun. Yeah.
I like this website.
Sorry?
I like this website a lot.
Yeah, this website. Yeah, the questions are really creative. I love it as well. Then recently I started using, but with advanced, the WikiHow. Yeah. So, for example, with if the person tells me I want some more business vocabulary, so I start speaking about one of the articles, how to pass a job interview. Yeah, so we can read here the stages. Yeah, this person can also learn something out of our conversation, right? Yeah, in the different books and methodologies, it's called CLIL. So that is the content language, something integrated, something like that, English. So kind of you try to integrate English with different subjects like physics, psychology, yeah, and you teach them something more than English. Yeah, so here also you have visuals, yeah. So you can stop, for example, you read here, then you stop here, just discuss this, and you have integrated lesson, yeah. So both visual and also kind of it's developing and improving their reading skills, right? Okay, so what else, guys? Let me see if I have here something interesting. You and your data is really nice. I like this topic. Yeah, so and they give a lot of interesting information about how they not steal, but legally take our data to use them for forming the preferences and showing our advertisement on the internet. Yeah, so for some people it can be shocking information. Okay, what else? Yeah, that is rational language. Let's not touch it. Okay, that's all, guys. So do you have any questions or any feedbacks maybe you would love to add? We can do something better on our discussions and trainings. Nope. Okay, no questions. No questions. So that indicates how it was interesting. Okay, no, I'm joking. That's just stereotype. Okay, guys, thank you so much for the lesson. Thank you so much for the discussion, for sharing your ideas. That was really cool, guys. And I love when you add something from you to our discussion. Yeah, because this all I have is just my ideas, but I gathered all you here to share ideas. It's very important. Yeah, because you can always learn not just from books but from other people, which can be way effective. So thank you so much for the yeah. I say thank you so much. Yeah. So. All right, guys. So have a nice day. Stay cool, and I'll see you tomorrow. Right? Tomorrow at 3 o'clock GTM +4. Yeah. That's Baku time. Mm-hmm. All right. Bye.
Okay. Bye. See
Bye.
you.
Take care. Bye.
Yep. So that was our training about visuals, guys. If you have any questions related with that, just leave your comment below and we'll get back to you very soon. Bye.